Welcome back to FTA Sport and our latest instalment of Stats and Chats. You know what I'm going to do.
That's
Anyway,
probably the worst one so
that's the
far.
one. I'm running out. It's been a long season. Basically, it's just a segment where Lewis and myself talk a little bit of hockey after the game, and my word, what a game it was, and an exhausting game. We were pretty into it up in the commentary box, so how it must have been down on the bench. And speaking about down on the bench, the third period atmosphere was perhaps a whole lot better on that bench and a whole lot more wholesome than what we saw in the first period when Jamie Elson certainly wasn't happy.
Yeah, I think, should we talk first period first? I think I compared the complexion of Jamie Elson to that of Alan Brazil during the timeout when they were 3-0 down and struggling to get anything going. But yeah, you compare that to the boys when they're skating around that ice rink with that famous song blasting around the rink. It was a phenomenal comeback.
It was, and we said it a lot in commentary, and I hope you guys... Sport is about opinion, and Lewis and myself are in the fortunate position. We're in the commentary box. We will give our opinion. Hopefully, sometimes if it's negative, hopefully it's constructive. You know, we always welcome disagreement. But I guess whilst we've been negative about a few things, the one thing you can't be negative about week on week on week is the fact this team is tenacious, it's got character, and when you're talking about playoff hockey, those are pretty good characteristics to have.
Yeah, like obviously you never want to be chasing a game, but you're going to find yourselves in situations where it happens. Tonight, they didn't get out of the blocks, they found themselves 3-0, 4-1 down, and you need to be able to fall back on your ability to come back, and it's exactly what they showed tonight. Just phenomenal performances throughout the lineup in the second and third periods, and something that the Pitbulls they've been looking like they're threatening to do this a lot. Obviously, last week they come from 2-0 down to take the lead against Solent. They did it in London, or Essex yesterday, where they found themselves 4-3 down with just over a minute to play, and they managed to take it to overtime. In those two scenarios, they're probably happy to take a point, whereas tonight they'll be delighted with the two that they've earned.
Before we continue to give out the plaudits, because the Pitbulls do deserve that after a character win, we do have to touch on a common theme, and it's that theme of starting games. And we know Jamie Elson, so we're not doing anyone a disservice. We know Jamie Elson talks about that a lot. He's not always happy with the way his Pitbulls team starts games. If you're looking for the worst example going, it's tonight. And by hook or by crook, this bad habit you've got to get rid of, because the Pitbulls, and you just said it in commentary, based on the second and third period, particularly the third period, they could go into a playoff encounter. They could bring home a playoff trophy potentially. But if they play like they do in the first period, then they're not going to make much headway.
No, and yeah, it's, as you say, it's been an ongoing problem where their first period has often been their worst of the game, and tonight, yeah, as you say, that was the worst example of it possible. It was so tame. It was just passes not finding blades at all, and okay, it happens. Like, you know, they've played 7 games across 4 weekends. This was their 8th. There's going to be tired bodies out there, but you don't lose your technique. You don't lose your ability. So you just got to do the simple things right early doors. Maybe just simplify things in the first 5 minutes. Get everyone on the ice. Get everyone going, and then start to ramp it up. Maybe like your players like Sam Smith, they can look for their Hollywood passes from the blue line and things like that. Just keep it simple early doors and maybe cut out the mistakes that they make in that first period.
You and I like to analyse things till the cows come home. I also don't want to keep you for too long, so I know you've got to get downstairs for the raffle, and we'll touch upon that in my final question. But let's not overanalyse that third period. Let's just talk about sometimes as a sports fan, the emotions and how good it is to be part of something like that. It must have been great on the bench, it must have been great for the players, credit to them. In the commentary box, I know I deafened one of the guys from FTA. He's just said to me, because there was a bit of a shout on one of the goals. That's what sport's about, living through the emotions of that third period. I'm sure you'll disagree if you're a Chelmsford fan, but that was pretty magical. Yeah,
I know we're going to come to sort of the jerseys tonight, the reasoning behind it, but sport's an escape. There's a lot of bad things in the world, and sport, we use it to escape from that and let out our emotions, and what better way to do it than celebrating a performance like that, where at 6-3 down after 2, we're talking about, you know, it's okay, they can keep themselves in the game, they can keep battling and keep it respectable. They've done more than we thought they might have done, and just a thoroughly, not even professional. It's just a phenomenal performance.
Was indeed. My last question then, it's a two-part question. We touched upon it then in commentary at the end, but people don't always watch the commentary, so maybe they'll see it in this. Tyler Perry, we send him our wishes. We kind of knew about it a little bit last week, but we couldn't say too much. What a character guy he is. And the kind of the second part is Peace Not War night tonight. You're about to go downstairs, again involved in the jersey auction. Great to see the Bristol ice hockey community supporting that.
Yeah, and obviously, as you say, we send our best wishes to Tyler. His unfortunate thing with the surgery being delayed is the Pitbulls game. They were in a tough spot this weekend with obviously Dibble missing Saturday, and I'm guessing not ready to go today for whatever possible reason that could have been, celebrating his wedding night.
Understandable.
So yeah, it's good that Tyler's come in, and I mean he's conceded 10 over the weekend, but I don't think he'll be disappointed with any of them, and the mental strength it must take him to come back into the game after the emotional outpouring that we saw last Sunday. Just so much respect for such a young man. And yeah, after the game tonight, as you heard, the cheers, the players are below us at the moment. There's the whole squad signing. The team photos are available tonight, so all of the team are down there, and all the jerseys are being raffled off. All of the money that is made is going to the DEC, and yeah, just a phenomenally great cause. And I know Liam Coleman, he's got a friend, I assume played in Canada with him, who's from Ukraine, and I was talking to him yesterday, and it's just quite a nice thing to be able to help out, know that you're aiding someone in a much worse situation than we are at the moment. Yeah, sometimes you have to remember how fortunate you are. We all have problems in our lives, but what's going on in the Ukraine, credit to the Pitbulls for supporting that. And for Tyler, on behalf of Lewis, myself, everyone at FTA Sport, everyone at Bristol Pitbulls, everyone in the Bristol ice hockey community, everyone in the wider British ice hockey community, Tyler, stay strong. We're all behind you. And I guess continue to watch our coverage on FTA Sport.